We're now on Ingram Street, 1 block away from George Square, with the Gallery of Modern Art that we saw earlier behind us. When we think of legendary British heists, we usually think of the Great Train Robbery. But back in July 1811, right here on Ingram Street, 3 men pulled off one of the most audacious and lucrative thefts in criminal history. They targeted the Paisley Union Bank at numbers 49 to 51, walking away with nearly £20,000. Relative to average earnings at the time, that's the equivalent of a staggering £13 million today. And the most remarkable part? They didn't use a single ounce of violence. The setup was meticulous. Every Saturday, a heavily chained iron box of gold, silver and banknotes arrived from Edinburgh to stock the bank. On the weekend of July 13th, the bank porter locked the heavy cash box inside the safe and headed off to Glasgow Green to enjoy the Glasgow Fair holidays. But at 3 a.m. on Sunday, a local tradesman looking out his window opposite the bank spotted 3 men jumping over the wall. They were busily stuffing parcels of paper into sacks, swapping their outer clothes, and disappearing into the night. By the time the manager opened the safe on Monday morning, the bank was left without a single shilling in its coffers. The thieves fled to a coach yard on George Street, hiring a private carriage by claiming they had a dying relative in Edinburgh, and made a break for London. Glasgow didn't even have a formal detective department yet. That wouldn't come until years later. So, the desperate bank managers travelled all the way to London themselves to hire the legendary Bow Street runners. The investigators soon uncovered a masterpiece of preparation. The English gang, masterminded by a career criminal named James McCool, had lodged in Glasgow for weeks. They had been sneaking into the bank at night to take wax impressions of the locks, mailing test keys back to a London blacksmith for precise adjustments. The runners eventually raided the gang's London hideout, recovering key evidence and arresting one of the crew, but McCool slipped the net. What followed next sounds utterly bizarre to modern ears. McCool opened up back-channel negotiations with the bank. He offered to return £12,000 of the stolen loot if the bank granted his arrested accomplice a full, free pardon. Amazingly, the bank accepted the deal, took the £12,000 and headed back to Glasgow rejoicing. McCool was home free and living a life of absolute luxury in a grand mansion near Edinburgh. But his own breathtaking greed and arrogance proved to be his downfall. Years later, he tried to deposit £800 of the stolen banknotes. When suspicious authorities seized the cash, McCool didn't just lay low. He hired a lawyer and sued the bank to get his stolen money back, even demanding compensation for the hassle. That civil trial sealed his fate. The bank brought surviving witnesses from Glasgow who positively identified him. McCool was arrested right there in the courtroom and sentenced to hang. He ultimately cheated the hangman by taking smuggled poison in his cell just days before his execution, bringing a dramatic end to the mastermind behind Glasgow's ultimate £13 million lock-picking masterclass.